Hello everybody, welcome back to Sonic Mania Part 4. We're now in Hydro City Zone.
Hydrocity.
No!
The correct pronunciation.
Oh
The
my
correct
god,
pronunciation.
Stefan,
It's
oh my god, every day I get...
it's Hydru Saitai. That's the correct pronunciation.
Hiju-san.
We know it's Hydro City. We're done with that.
I would say, even though this is probably, of all of the old levels, this is probably the least change, and it has the kind of least remixed music. God damn, this level's fun to play.
The graphics are exactly the same. What did they add differently graphically?
Nothing, as far as I can tell. Just
Yeah,
They gave it a
good
different
job.
color palette.
The boat.
everything's just smooth. No, you know what? I think they maybe have made the underwater section slightly darker.
Oh yeah, these chains too.
Well, there's
the
the change. There's the boat.
Oh, and the boats. Okay.
If a keen eye will notice that the background to Act 1 in this game is the same as the background to Act 2 in Sonic 3. Haha.
Bum, bum, bum. You know, one very, very, very minor nitpick. The fact that when those hands come out in the original Sonic 3, when those hands come out, it makes you look like you're going really fucking fast. That not so much in this version. It just looks like he's taking a kind of a leisurely stroll, which again, very, very, very minor nitpick. But you get the bubble. But you would think
I feel the same way.
You would think that someone like Taxman and crew, who obviously know these games inside out, it's weird that something, even though it's only a small touch, it's weird that something like that they didn't get perfect. You know. So basically, what I'm saying is this game is terrible. Don't buy it.
Right, because there's also a little bit later the bits. I think they're in Act 2 of this game where you're going down those blue slopes. The animation that's specific to that in Sonic 3 does not exist. You just have normal animation, which I thought was that was a really good death right there.
You definitely had enough time to react to that, especially since you run really slow underwater, Gareth.
I left that in just for you, Steven,
It's a good
because I
fucking
knew you'd
game.
hate it.
Great design.
Hey, I will say this: I love being underwater in Sonic games.
I do too. You know, when I was younger, I hated Labyrinth Zone, but now it's my favorite level in Sonic 1.
Don't want to be a roommate anymore.
What? No.
No, guys. I will say of the classics, Hydro City is the only water level I like actually enjoy. I think all the others, so, you know, I don't class Chemical Plant as a water level because only a fraction of it is in water. But Hydro City, I would look forward to playing, not so much like Labyrinth or like Aquatic Ruin or what have you.
Yeah.
I like Aquatic Ruin.
You're an idiot.
That one you can go fast in too.
Yeah. Oh man, shout out to the Game Gear reference here in the bubble. Just like we didn't shout out to the Game Gear reference in the Metal Sonic fight because of
You
reasons.
know, I'm sure Izuka saw this and was just against it. Because we know Izuka's idea of that. Game Gear games, LOL.
Well, they never happened. I don't know what the Game Gear is. But, no, what was I gonna... Oh, yeah, like...
David, remember Izuka made it. He made it official that classic Sonic's from a different dimension.
No! What? No, it doesn't work! Sonic Adventure doesn't work if he... No, it doesn't work!
No. You see, because even
Generations doesn't work either.
Knuckles from Sonic Adventure, even though he's on the Angel Island, it's a completely different game from different universe from Sonic 3, where Knuckles is on the Angel Island.
But it doesn't work!
By traveling back in time, it creates an alternate timeline.
Just like Back to the Future.
I'm going to put this out there that I think Forces is an alternate timeline to even the modern timeline.
Why the fuck is the Sonic timeline now more convoluted and stupid than the Zelda timeline?
Exactly.
No, guys, just because we don't lose track again, because we tried to bring it up in the last part, Steven, what are some things? Let's start with Steven. What are some things you like about this game?
I probably already mentioned it though. You know what? Okay, so I have a thing to say about Mr. T. Lopes. But this is, I feel kind of, no, he's a real person, so maybe I shouldn't be mean. He's not a faceless corporation.
Oh man, look at Eggman. Did you see Eggman? Eggman's so cool.
Okay.
T. Lopes is a very nice and cool person.
T. Lopes, you're a very nice and cool person, but... And here goes my YouTube video essay.
Uh-oh.
I really, really love your original stuff, but I think your remixes of things do not understand the intent of the original composer's intent. I don't like your remixes, but I like your original stuff. So there it is.
Even Hydro City, because I would argue.
Yes, I know I like original Hydro City way more.
No. Well, I'm saying because unlike every other track where it's almost like it's a reimagining. Hydro City, it's completely unchanged. It's just like he just
Gareth,
used
your microphone
better
cut out,
sounding
Gareth.
synth, which is I'm not sure why that is.
Gareth,
Hydro
your
City, it's I don't want to call it lazy, but it is like the
Can you
least
guys hear me?
effort in a way put into
is it
the
just me?
remix in this one, which is
I've
Can
heard
you
some
guys hear me
people
at all?
say
Because I
that
can't hear anybody.
they did that because of the whole Sonic 3 music controversy, but I'm not entirely sure.
I wouldn't have thought so because that they say that Hydro City isn't because for the first time I played this I had no idea this was a thing, but I love the fact that this you're in Eggman's ship. It's funny.
This is a good boss, which I know is nothing to do with what was being talked about just now, but I do love this boss.
It's a fun boss, and Steven exited the call. I think he'd had enough of Hydro
Oh,
City.
no.
What?
Couldn't take it anymore.
I feel like, and I don't know this for sure, but I feel like Hydro City may have been one of the last zones they added to the game. That would explain why it's the least changed.
Also, I love this boss. It's so great.
Why did Steven leave? We could have...
His internet died.
Oh, come on!
I hope he's still recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows. So while we wait for Steven to possibly return, David, why don't you read some of the other complaints your friend had?
Oh, right. Well, because I wanted to talk about it with Steven here, because I wanted to see how he felt about it, since he has such a negative opinion on Mania. But, one of the things, right, because I was talking to a friend of mine about Mania. He's a Sonic fan from way back in the day as well.
Oh, I think I know who it is you're talking about. Go on.
Oh yeah, you've met him, but he didn't like Sonic.
Who is it? Name him.
I don't know if I want to throw out his name because I might also repeat some stuff wrong, and then he'll be like, David.
David, we need his name and his social security number.
Okay, his social security, it's 392-446-7192. No, it's not. Is it? What did I think I said a phone number instead of a social security.
Ooh, I've never been in this section of the
Yeah, you're
level.
right.
This is cool.
Oh. But yeah, he was talking about, because he is, to him, kind of the same as with me. His favorite Sonic game is the original Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And
Okay.
I know it's a
I don't
controversy.
understand it, but
Yeah,
okay.
well, I could get into it, but this probably isn't the place.
Please don't.
Yes, but one of the things that he was talking about how he doesn't like this game. Part of it had to do with some of the visual design, and that certain things, including the Tyson Hess intro animation, is that Sonic the Hedgehog sometimes looks too cute, and kind of like when Sonic is standing and you press the up button, the way he looks up is a bit cuter than, say, how he would be in the classic games. That some of the attitude was whatever that means was sacrificed to make Sonic a bit cuter, and also it is included with the palette. How the palette to Sonic 1 is, while it is colorful, it is more muted than some of the later entries in the series, including this one. And because of that, it presents a different mood. Like Sonic 1 presents a different mood tonally. He was talking about how Sonic 1 is a very lonely sort of game, where you're Sonic, you're running around, you're freeing animals, but they don't stick around. So even the way the music is composed offers a different sort of mood than, say, Mania does. And he was also saying that the original levels feel more to him like a generic 90s animal platformer than something more surrealistic that started in, say, Spring
Hey
Yard Zone,
guys!
being a very Hi. I was just explaining why my friend doesn't like this game.
Okay, give me a timestamp.
See this?
Let's see.
10:06.
7.
All right, I'm back with you. Okay, so my internet died. I don't know what you heard.
David, to go back to the point you made about the color palette, am I the only one who, again, it's a very minor thing, but the fact that they went back to the Sonic 1 sprite and for some reason went for a lighter shade of blue than even the classics used, part of me was just like...
Classic is lighter.
Okay. Because again, I may be, technically no, because if you put a sprite...
Classic is lighter.
Oh, gotcha. I will say though, also my favorite sprite is the one from Sonic 3. I actually think the Sonic 3 the Sonic 3 sprite actually shows more attitude because I love the fact that he just stands there with his fists out. He just looks more like he's ready to like knock some motherfuckers out. Let's fucking knife some fuckers. But
it's a lot more detailed.
Yes, although technically, he does sacrifice a finger when he bends down, but still, we won't hold that against him. It's also, it's just the thing, like, because if say, because I know that one of the design mantras were, imagine if this was a lost Saturn game. The only thing, if we ignore the fact that they have reused levels, but I just think that if a Sonic 4 was made on the Saturn, they wouldn't have gone back to the one sprite, that they most likely would have kept the 3 or would have made a new one. It's just small things like that which just like I get why, because these people are hardcore fans and they probably prefer how that looks, but just in terms of a timeline, I'm like, part of me just doesn't like the fact that they went back to the 1, 2 and CD sprite, and also the fact that why is the Act 1 boss in Act 2 and why is the Act 2 boss in Act 1 in Hydro City?
Because you're going backwards. It's like what I said, the backgrounds are also reversed.
And also, we just fought about why we need to fight this guy right now, since we just fought that boss.
Oh yeah, the worst
turn.
boss in Sonic 3. Can't wait to beat that again.
Part 2. It's part 2 of the boss.
Which part one is the only original thing. Like part 1 is more fun. I would have preferred just a longer part 1
There's not
section.
a single person in the world who enjoyed this boss. Why bring it back? Why? That's a bad
This boss is only fun as Knuckles because this boss is more fun as Knuckles, because this is the one exception when Knuckles can just fucking blast through this because he can hang onto the wall. So this boss Knuckles can kill in 6 seconds whereas Sonic can't. So essentially all we're saying is Sonic 3 is a better game.
See, I don't like the Sonic 3 sprite as much though.
Really? 3 is my favorite. I mean, having said that, I think that the sprite in Mania looks great.
Best level
but 3 is my personal preference.
Knuckles, where'd you go?
Also, this I think this intro is one of the biggest things of like the fact that there aren't level transitions for the whole thing makes it feel slightly empty, because where the fuck did Knuckles come from? I would have loved like a little sprite thing where at the end of Hydro City, Knuckles is there because he's on the fucking floating island, and they get the tornado and leave.
Right, because the tornado is on the Angel Island. We saw it in the beginning of the game, so it makes sense that they would pursue. So while you can put it together in your mind, it is a shame that we don't get to see it visually. Although to me, it feels like they ran out of time. This game was already delayed once, remember? It was supposed to be in the spring, and then it came out in August.
Fuck you, Sega, you said spring.
Yeah, so if Forces wasn't a thing, I think maybe they would have felt better about delaying it a little bit later.
I still think they wouldn't have wanted to delay it again, considering just how pushy people have been.
Yeah, but I'm wondering that, like, if Forces didn't exist and Sega went, oh, we're delaying Mania, that instead of saying, oh, we're delaying it till August, they might have just said, we're delaying it till winter, and left it alone at that point. Like, this could have been the holiday release if not for Forces existing.
I mean, I would have preferred that, but I mean, like, I know it was patched once. I mean, is there any indication? I mean, because I don't keep too up to date with what they post on social media. Is there any more additions to Mania, or is the patch that just came out, is that kind of the end of Mania's kind of production?
I mean, so hasn't that mostly just been bug fixes and whatnot?
There's something good about the game, right, Steven?
You missed it. You should have kept on playing.
So yeah, I mean,
See, now
so, I
it's
mean,
10-10.
Mania did have a patch to fix some things. It added like the supersonic button. It had some fixes, but I mean, like, has there been any talk of, maybe another patch to add some of those? Because I think, it again, as you said before, it is a minor complaint, but I think a lot of people have commented on the lack of zone transitions as being a thing that kind of it doesn't ruin the game, but it just makes it feel like a notch more incomplete.
Something you said just stuck out to me is that you've been saying a lot that this game has a lot of minor complaints. And I think that's the big thing about Sonic Mania is that, yeah, it has a lot of minor complaints, but it has so many minor complaints that it comes together to make one complaint.
Yeah. I mean, like when I was trying to think about this game, I think the last time I left off, I rate this game like an 8.5. Like, but there are so many just small things that add up to me that kind of prevents me from giving it a 9. But also, if Metallic Madness wasn't in this game, I would rate this game 9.5 because I fucking hate Metallic Madness.
Give it a 9.9. Get your body.
Oh my god, David, I fucking love you for that rate. 9.95. I fucking love you. Put your body in overdrive.
I own that soundtrack on audio cassette. You know what?
Oh, dude, David, I fucking did. Fuck Steven, move into my house.
Live in Garrett's basement.
I'm sure your wife won't mind.
She won't mind. We'll just you can just read her more fan fiction. She'll love it. Great.
Read them to Benchy.
I think she'll mind more. She'll be like, why is your friend down there and he keeps on talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken? I don't get it.
But yeah, again, I think Stefan pointed out, just a lot of, with the exception of Steven, because Steven hates this game. Like, I think too a lot of people and reviewers, they're just a bunch of just small things, the small like little annoying things.
But everything about this level I love. I love the aesthetic. I like the Winged Fortress, how it starts. I love this train part. I love the saloon. I love the saloon part in Act 2. I love the Act 2 boss.
I haven't even played this level, and I can see some things wrong with it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would say two things. One, the fact that why does this level have Sky Chase? Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. Also, in the beginning, there's a kind of an annoying glitch where if you spin dash or drop dash, 8 times out of 10 you fall off the plane and die. And this boss is fucking horrendous.
Okay, I was wrong. Yeah, this boss is bad.
This boss might be the most annoying boss in the game. It isn't the hardest. It's just fucking annoying.
What bothers me is that there are cacti, I almost said cactuses. There are cacti in the foreground, and usually a cactus means you're gonna get fucking hurt, but you actually you go behind or in front of it. There's no way you would have known that. It's fucking, unless you accidentally did it. It's fucking stupid. Damn it.
What you need to do is you need to purchase a cactus and learn to live in harmony with it. Then you'll
saying
realize.
Instinctively cactus means pain, which means not good for my character. And it's like, oh, it actually doesn't hurt me.
Well, also cactus means water, which is
I
life.
hate you.
Well,
Oh wow, it looks like you're having a really good time with this perfect boss from this perfect fucking game.
No, this boss sucks. This box sucks so bad.
I mean, this boss is better with Knuckles.
I was
Let's
gonna
just
say
throw
I
that
enjoyed
out
the
there.
Knuckles version a lot better.
Well, because the boss plays different as Knuckles. That's
Well,
why.
yeah, because it's from Gigalopolis Zone.
Right. Oh, right. Another Game Gear reference. Now, I will say that because I don't think we pointed out that it's very obvious that this level is based on Mirage Saloon's based on Desert Dazzle. Oh man, that's cool. Yeah, which was supposed to be in the Taxman version of CD.
I will say I love that sprite of Sonic like arched on the tornado. He's like ready for battle. Like I think that sprite's pretty
I have
cool.
a question. Is being relevant to the plot? Oh, good thing he shows up in the fucking game.
Well, you'll see what happens.
Well, just wait. You'll see. I will say though. Apparently there was a glitch sometimes where if you went into the special stage and got back on the plane, Knuckles was there. And so at the end of it, when the plane crashed, Knuckles' sprites just stayed on the tornado as it crashed into the floor, and that's how Knuckles died.
That makes sense to me.
Waiting to see how Bean makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it will make sense. Mirage Saloon 2, I believe the subtitle is Rogues Gallery. I think again one of the better tracks in the game. So sexy.
Yeah, I like it.
This whole saloon aesthetic is so good.
It's an ice cream bar, no alcohol. It's an ice cream bar.
Right. Because, yeah, this is, like I said, right, it was supposed to be Desert Dazzle, but that in and of itself was based on Dust Hill, one of the unfinished, unused levels from Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which we talked about earlier. So, I mean, it's definitely, this is a piece of Sonic history finally realized, because at the same time, it's definitely a concept that Taxman has been playing with even back in his fan game days. There was always supposed to be a version of Dust Hill in whatever iteration of whatever fan game he was working on at the time. So it's really nice to see it finally realized in a complete...
Because yeah, to go into fan games, I haven't played much when I was a kid. I downloaded a handful onto the first PC my family ever had, and it wasn't until years later I'd realized one of the games I would play was Retro Sonic, which I believe was Taxman's first game.
Yeah, that was,
And that game was a lot of fucking fun.
Look, Steven, Bean's in this level because they're all wanted.
Is that literally your answer?
No.
No, it's not literally
Nice.
it. You'll find
it's
out.
a good time. It's a good time.
It's just so cool. They brought the hooligans back.
It is kind of fucking.
And there's a
it's kind of
gun?
fucking weird that this is the same universe. You just go down the street and then you're in Station Square.
Well, that's because human beings are boring.
Well, no, Steven, as Yuka said, there's two worlds.
Oh yeah,
one with
that's
human,
right.
No!
There
one
are
No!
two worlds. There's two worlds, David.
No, it
Sonic
doesn't work.
is
It
to
doesn't
travel
work.
between them at will, but why are there two of them? There's two worlds and apparently two Sonics, which can.
No, it doesn't work. Sonic Adventure fundamentally breaks because the plot of Sonic Adventure is that the Mystic Ruins is part of the Echidna.
No.
Because Angel Island is.
No. Izuka said it, David. Izuka's law.
It
Izuka's
doesn't
word
work.
is
It
law.
doesn't
No,
work
David, it's
because
as if
no
it's as
human
if
being
God sucks, David.
Azuka also said Forces isn't
Doesn't
Generations
work.
2.
It doesn't make sense. They all have to be in the
It makes
same...
perfect sense. You're just too blind to see it.
And also, I mean, you talk about Sonic or like Sonic Generations, classic Sonics from the past. He can't be from another dimension. It says right there, oh, it's you. It's me from the past. Look at me. Look at you. I am me.
Look at me, Mr. Meeksheeks, some classic Sonic over here.
Oh look, it's
There he is.
Fang.
You mean Knack? Knack. It's Knack.
Fang the Sniper.
You idiots.
It's Fang the Knack.
Do you see what's going on?
It's Fang the Knack.
No, I don't.
Oh.
Oh.
This hardboiled heavy transforms into a Team Hooligan.
Yep. She's a magician. She is heavy magician.
Oh, she's a lady.
It's true.
Two things. This is a nice little callback. It's cool to see Knack being embarked with, I will say, Bark's arms are too thin, based on how he looked in Sonic the Fighters. It's a nice idea, but this boss is really easy, and it's slightly disappointing that we're not actually fighting the hooligans. But it's a really cool idea. The fact that this is the first time we've actually seen these characters in a game in like 20 years.
No plot relevance. You said there was plot relevance. No plot.
No, we didn't
relevance
say there wasn't plot relevance. We just said there was relevance.
Nope.
Right.
No, you did
it's
not.
that he is able to transform.
It's the fundamentals of the boss is that she can transform.
I don't like characters who don't belong.
Steven, it's funny because the more you talk about this game, the more you start sounding like Ted, because Ted hated that as well.
Hey, do you know what species Bean is?
What's weird is that the hooligan at the like when you see at the very beginning of Act 2, the hooligan that shows up there, it's supposed to insinuate that that's the actual real hooligan because the magician like flew off like right before you see them.
Stefan, what are you talking about?
At the beginning of Act 2, you know
Knuckles!
when Bean showed up and shot you
Yo?
down?
Knuckles.
True
True
I
ending.
wish this was over. Okay.
Well, I'm not going to
Oh,
explain
man.
it to you because
Hey, do you know what species Bean is?
He's a woodpecker.
Oh, that's right. You read it. You read the thing.
Even though he should clearly be a duck. Well, see, I always thought he should be a duck, but fuck it, he's a woodpecker. That's fine. Thanks everyone for joining. Please join us for the next part of Sonic Mania.
Oh, also, I really like the extra sprites in the tornado. Just putting that out there.